Hi everyone, I'm Kirsty and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different today, and I want to talk to you about the Korean drama called The Red Sleeve. I thought I would do a little bit of a kind of review to just go over my thoughts and feelings about this show because I think it's just such a special drama and I think everyone should watch it. I normally do K-pop reactions on this channel, and K-pop and K-dramas have a bit of an overlap obviously, so hopefully y'all are maybe interested in this a little bit and hopefully if you like this you might be interested in seeing me do more of this. Please let me know. I've been watching Korean dramas for quite a while and I watch quite a lot of them, so I'm not going to be doing this like really regularly or anything for every drama I watch, more just stuff that makes me really have a lot of thoughts and feelings that I need to like get out. This is the first time I've ever scripted a video because I just had so many things I wanted to say and I wanted to make sure I said them eloquently enough because I feel like the drama deserves it. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to subscribe, and if you'd like to leave a like or a comment, I'd very much appreciate that. My socials are linked down below, including my Twitch where I stream 4 times a week. Do you ever watch a drama and feel both happiness and regret that you've watched it? That was me with The Red Sleeve. This is probably one of the best dramas I've watched in a long time, and I watch a lot of them. I will link my drama list profile down below where I've watched like over 70 I think at this point. And yeah, a lot of them leave a lasting impression, but a lot of them don't as well. And The Red Sleeve definitely fell into the former category because I spent a lot of my time watching this crying. From the characterization and acting to the plot, this drama did everything so well, and it felt like it was just a masterclass in how to create a memorable saga. I will be discussing spoilers in this, so every time I raise my hand up like this, that means I'm talking about spoilers, just so you know. The Red Sleeve is a dramatization of the real-life story of a palace maid, Sang Deok-kim, who went on to become King Jong-jo's favourite concubine. Deok-kim becomes an orphan at a young age after her father's death due to him being a guard of Crown Prince Sado, who is ordered to be killed by King Yong-jo. Deok-kim's brother begs the wife of Sado to save them, so Deok-kim gets adopted by one of the palace's servants, and they set her on the path to becoming a palace maid. As a palace maid, she ends up working in the Crown Prince's library, and that is where they end up having a chance meeting, and thus begins their story. I don't know the full story of what happened with Sang Do-kim and King Jong-jo, but I know that this followed some of the events of their lives, and thinking about that makes me quite sad because this isn't the happiest of dramas, let me tell you. I spent a lot of time crying. It's been a while since a drama made me feel the way The Red Sleeve made me feel. I went from feeling the sheer agony of the slow burn romance, the tension of the political intrigue, and this devastation of the ending, as all down to how well the characters were written. Sang Do-kim is a woman who is incredibly aware of her place in society, but does not let it take away from her convictions. She does what she can to survive, but isn't afraid of letting her voice be heard when she sees injustices. She is fiercely loyal to her friends and will put them above everyone, including the king. Whilst I did love her character, and I think she was definitely like a major standout to me, she did seem to get herself into some situations a lot of the time that were a bit unrealistic to the time period, and she managed to survive all the time. But this is a very common thing in sageuk, so I don't fault them too much for this, to be quite honest. Like, most sageuk's I watch, the main character always gets up to some hijinks that any other person would be like instantly killed for. We're going to talk about some spoilers now. Deok-kim stayed true to herself to the very end. Despite giving in to marrying the king after finding herself in a difficult position, she made sure the king knew that everything she did was her choice, including asking to see her friends in her final moments of life, not him. She also never told him she loved him because she believed that that was the one choice that she could always make to have some control of her life when she became a concubine. I truly believe that when the writers wrote this story that they believed that Sang Do-kim loved the king. I don't know about real life, but I think in the drama that is what the writers believed. And I felt like it was very much portrayed that way. I feel like everything Deok-kim did, it was with the knowledge that she loved the king, and that she was like incredibly sad that they couldn't just have a normal relationship like normal people because of the positions they were in. And I think this is proven in the final moments of the drama when they are together in the afterlife. I think had that not been in it, you maybe could have made an argument that maybe she didn't love him. But I think the fact that they were together in the afterlife just proved that. I don't know. Spoilers over. King Jung-jo, also known as Yisan, is quite idealistic, but he recognises his duties in his role as crown prince and later king. This leads to problems between him and Dokkim in their relationship, as they both recognise that he has his duty and his role in life, but Dokkim always wants more from him, but she knows he can't give it to her, simply because he is the king, or crown prince in the earlier parts. Dokkim knew that he would be a king who strived for reform, and that he would never be able to fully devote himself to her because it would be against his character. And I think that's also like why she loves him and why it's so sad, because she knows exactly what it would be like getting into that kind of situation and relationship with him, and yet she still can't help herself at times because she just loves him. At least that's my opinion. He also makes a lot of decisions that he believes are things that he has to do in his role as king, even though it is at the behest of his relationship with Dokkim. And I found these moments really sad because you could see them both struggling, even him, even though he's the one who's made the decision. He does it knowing that it's not a decision he actually wants to be making. Another spoiler part, especially when it comes to his romantic relationships, like he couldn't be with Dokkim when she found out she was pregnant. Like that first night, he had to go be with his actual queen because the queen was struggling to get pregnant, and he, as king, had to go do that. And I don't know, it was just like really sad. Stuff like that just makes me so sad because, you know, people like that really were like that in real life. I don't know. In researching this drama, I actually discovered that King Jung-jo is one of the most dramatized kings in Korean media, and the people in Korea tend to resonate him with really well compared to other kings because he did desire change so much. I find that just really interesting. Given he lived like so long ago, I think it was like 400 years or something, maybe not quite 400, maybe 300. Obviously people nowadays don't actually know his personality, they just know what's written in history books. I just find that really fascinating. But yeah, the relationship between Dokkim and Jung-jo was really complicated, and I think it's sad to see a couple that in a different circumstance would have had a really great relationship, I think, and would have had a normal relationship full of love and understanding, and potentially, I don't know, lots of little kids running around, and I don't know, just a really nice like home, and they didn't get that. I don't know. And obviously I know that like he as a king was in a very privileged position, but it was like he was in a gilded cage when it came to his relationship with Dokkim, because he couldn't be the husband to her that he wanted to be. I wish we knew more about Dokkim in real life. All we really know is about the king, because obviously that's like documented, and all we know about their relationship is from his side. Like, we only know how he loved her. We don't know if in real life how she felt towards him. Like, did she actually love him, or was it like a really weird relationship? I don't know. I hope she did actually love him, and I hope it's not like a really weird dramatization of like a really dodgy relationship. A lot of what really helped with the characterization was the incredible acting in this drama. I have to give praise to all the actors because they all did incredibly well in this drama. Like, everyone was so great in their roles. It was just wonderful to watch, but there were a lot of standouts for me, especially with the lead cast. I feel like they really did a great job. Juno pleasantly surprised me with his acting. I've seen him in stuff before, so like I knew he could act because I watched The Walk of Love, and I loved Walk of Love. If you've not watched that, please go watch it, it's great. He managed to convey incredible emotion throughout the run of the show, and I could truly believe him in his role as the crown prince turned king. He expressed emotions so well that at times I forgot he was Lee Jun-ho. I fully believed he was like the king at points, because it was just like, I don't know, he just really did that role so well. From emotionally devastating scenes to aggressively angry scenes, I found Juno's performance just absolutely incredible. I genuinely believe he deserves to get Best Actor at the Big Sang Awards this year. Unfortunately, he's up against Lee Jung-jae, who was in Squid Game, and that did so astronomically well that I can't see them giving it to anyone other than him. The Big Sang Awards like to stir the pot sometimes and give stuff to people that you don't expect them to give it to. So I'm really hoping he gets it because he just deserves it so much. I've never seen anything Lee Se-young has done, and I feel like I really need to change that now because she was incredible in this. I've heard she did really well in the Crowned Clown as well, and that's another saga, so I think I should go watch that at some point. She was so good at the micro expressions needed for a role of a palace maid, because as a palace maid you cannot show expression, like emotions. You cannot be like anything other than like furniture, essentially. Like you need to stand there and just shut up and do your job. I truly loved seeing this drama from her point of view because it allowed us to see the emotions a lot more, because you did see her like quiet moments being away from everyone where she could actually express herself. So it felt like you got to see like kind of two sides of her, and that you got to see the kind of restrained version of her when she was in her palace maid role, and then the side of her where she actually let herself feel her emotions. And I felt like she did both just so well. The chemistry between Juno and Lee Se-young was incredible. Like, ooh. Whether it was just scenes where they were just talking with each other and they're discussing life, or whether it was scenes where they were close to kissing, my heart was pounding out my chest. I was sitting there like, oh my god, please get together. I was just like, they really made me believe in their love. Like, I don't know, there was just something about them. And I think as well, there's like a little clip of them reacting to like their moments as a couple. They were both crying, and I think it's because they both just felt like really connected to their characters and their love. And I think that is one of like, I think when actors are like that, you really like, they put on one of the best performances. I don't know. And the other standout for me beside those main two was Jang Hee-jin in the role of the Dowager Queen, or Queen at one point anyway. She was a real standout. She was incredible. She portrayed a woman who struggled with her small amount of power within palace really incredibly well. She felt like such a force to be reckoned with in the moments where she was allowed that power. And I definitely think whilst that was partly down to the script, it was also due to Jang Hee-jin's great performance. I think she just did really well in that role of someone who was married to someone who was like 3 or 4 times her age when she was really young, and tried to make a life for herself in those weird circumstances. And I think she did it perfectly, honestly. As much as the story is one of love and conviction, it's also a story about women and the quiet ways they had power in a patriarchal society. It's very easy to write off historical societies as women having no power, but that just isn't true, because women made political moves behind the scenes. It was just never written down. You know, women did what they can to make their lives better for themselves, and they tried to do things behind the scenes. I really appreciated that this was told through the eyes of Sung Do-kim. It meant we got to see a lot of the behind the scenes of palace life, like palace maids and stuff like that, which isn't something we normally see in K-dramas. We just kind of see them walking around in K-dramas. We don't actually see the story of their lives. I've watched a lot of sageuk, and I had no idea some of the stuff that palace maids got up to, and even that palace maids had coming of age ceremonies. Like, that's really cool. I don't know, I just liked seeing that, and I just generally really like when we get to see stories of people who are less represented in history, like maids and servants and just general day-to-day lives of people that weren't like people in these really crazy high positions, you know. For the last couple of episodes of this, I was honestly distraught. I literally spent a lot of time crying. I had to like put off watching the final episode for a week. Like, I binge watched episodes 1 to 16 in the space of about 4 days, and then I had to stop watching it for a week before I could watch the final episode, because I just knew I was going to be absolutely devastated.
Emotional damage!
Because I knew what happened to Sung Do-kim in real life. And I had to just stop, because I was like, this is going to emotionally devastate me. And it did. All 1 hour and a half of it, or whatever length it was, I spent the entire time crying. And I think that just came down to everything being great. The writing, the production, the music, the acting. It just all kind of came together in the most perfect way that you would hope a drama would. I came away from watching The Red Sleeve totally emotionally spent. I feel I'm now chasing the emotional roller coaster that this drama put me on, and I'm sad because I'm not gonna get something like that for a while. I feel like I often just fall into K-dramas expecting to enjoy a K-drama and then coming away feeling like it's the best thing I've ever watched. And then I try and find the next best thing, and I can never find it, and I have to wait months before I actually find something that makes me feel emotions like this. I've been telling my friends all about it because the story is just heartbreaking. And I want everyone to know that they should watch it. But yeah, The Red Sleeve is one of those dramas I would suggest that everyone watch, but also don't watch it because you're going to be very upset. Like, it's a 10 out of 10. You should absolutely watch it, but also don't. Don't do it to yourself. like you'll want to die, but you gotta watch it. And yeah, that's what I'm saying to you now. If you've not watched it, it's gonna wreck you, but you have to watch it. That is my thoughts and feelings on The Red Sleeve. Please do let me know if you enjoyed this review kind of thing, and if you'd like to see more of this from me. I hope it's enjoyable and not just a Scottish woman waffling on about a Korean sageuk for half an hour or whatever. I don't know how long I've been talking now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Goodbye!